Our next speaker is Your Excellency Mr. Nima, the Member of Parliament Bhutan House. Yeah, he's the National Council of Bhutan, and he holds a Master of Human Services Counselling University at Curtin University of Technology, Perth, Western Australia. So, Mr. Nima, beginning this year, Bhutan has introduced USD $15 environment tax on visitors from India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Maldives as part of the draft of tax amendment that came into effect on 16 January. And can you explain to us a little bit about that? And also, since the pandemic started, the borders are closed. I have two more questions here. First, is there domestic tourism in Bhutan? Second, as Bhutan targets the high-end first, is there domestic tourism in Bhutan? Right? No, sorry, that's the first question. Second question is, as Bhutan target high-end tourists, would virtual reality is the next tool to stay connected with the travelers? Over to you.
Oh, thank you, Janet, for your questions. And actually, I run the risk of repeating some of the points that my earlier speakers have mentioned. And having said that, to go directly to your first question, yes, during our winter session last year, we have deliberated in the parliament about levying a US $15 per head day for the regional tourist. Now, one of the reasons why we have been doing this is to help provide better services for our regional tourists. Of course, when it comes to other international tourists, we charge a minimum of US $250 per day per head, and then we have been providing good services to them. But as far as the regional tourists are concerned, they can come free of cost, and therefore the hospitality sector has not been able to live up to their expectations. So therefore, in order to improve the hospitality for our regional tourists, we decided that let us charge a nominal fee so that we can provide them tour guides. They can come through travel agencies, and they can also stay in the better hotels. So that was one of the main reasons why we deliberated on this sustainable development fee. And again, at the same time, when you're talking about tourism in Bhutan, we also be very mindful about our environment, because when so many people come in, there's the risk of environmental damages. So in order to help reduce the environmental damages and to do whatever maintenance is required as far as the environmental conservation is concerned, so we have started discussing about this sustainable development fee. And as Marceline mentioned this morning, we are a carbon negative country. One thing that we can assure our tourists is they come to Bhutan and they love the fresh air here. And to maintain this, we decided that why not let us charge our regional tourists, our friends coming in, a nominal fee of US $15. That's first part of the question. And then second, when it comes to domestic tourism, I mean, Bhutan is a very small country, and most people travel for spiritual and religious sites, to pray or for sightseeing, and they do on their own, and it doesn't happen at a business scale. So therefore, domestic tourism is not happening as it is happening in other parts of the world, as mentioned by some of the colleagues from Malaysia. It doesn't really happen at a business level, and people, they visit heritage sites out of pleasure, and they organize their own trips. So it doesn't happen as a business. So domestic tourism is out of question at the moment. And as far as the virtual reality is concerned, I think I concur with the speakers who have spoken about this earlier. I mean, at the moment, virtual reality tourism is the alternative because we cannot open the borders because of the pandemic. And if we have a choice, I think VR should promote tourism so that next time when the borders open, tourists visit the sites because, as others mentioned, people may not enjoy as much as when they physically visit a site than doing it virtually. So therefore, at the moment, because of the COVID, do we have a choice? No, we don't have a choice. Therefore, we have to go virtual. But next time, can the virtual tourism replace the conventional model of tourism? I think it should not happen that way because, the hotels are losing income, and then tour guides are losing their jobs, families are losing their income. There is no job security. So therefore, I think the conventional model of tourism is the best model, and the VR should actually help promote this so that post-COVID we have better opportunities. And in Bhutan, one of the most important revenue generating sectors is the tourism sector. It is in fact the second most important revenue generating sector after the hydropower. So therefore, country like us, we cannot go virtual and not think about the conventional style of tourism. And we only wish and pray that the COVID situation ends and then we have tourists visiting us soon, because the local transmission, COVID-19 local transmission is concerned. We do not have local transmission at the moment. We have cases, we have recorded 200 plus COVID cases, but they are mostly either in quarantine or in isolation. The cases were detected either in quarantine or isolation. So therefore, our country at the moment is free of local transmission. So when the borders open, I think people outside would take into confidence the fact that there is no local transmission of COVID and visit us soon. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Nima.